And I'm curious about your time in the Middle East.
Yeah.
How did you get there? Or did you have contracts arranged ahead of time? Did you just appear?
Well, a contract in the Middle East is really just a suggestion and a piece of paper. It's like you're acting professional. Well, I had a wonderful decade of working in nightclubs, 2 shows a night, 6 nights a week, and you know, woven through that was tours and traveling throughout the Middle East and North Africa. But my most, of course, memorable time was the 6 months I spent in Lebanon, which was really bittersweet. It was difficult because my upbringing, being raised first generation, you know, here in this country, but with very heavy Islamic blanket over the house, and then but our passion being the dance, my mom and I. So then being thrusted in to the Middle East, you're really you go into these emotional responses that are very childlike in terms of how you're healing through your life, whatever happens to you, you know, through cultural experiences or the cultural schizophrenic experiences. But performing in the Middle East was artistically like my most rich moment because of the music, because of the band. I mean, you can't find that in this country because they just don't have the community to support it, even though I was lucky. Like the nightclub I started working at when I was 18, like on a slow night we had 6 musicians, and I felt so sorry for myself, you know, because it wasn't 15, 20, you know, only 6 was awful. And now if you get 3, it's like, you know, woo. So yeah, but I loved the music. The music is what drives me. Completely. I'm in love with the music.
And how were you received initially? Did you have to earn your stripes?
Well, yeah, you have to earn your stripes, but what I loved about why I was brought to the Middle East and why I was actually supported, you know, by the community in that experience was because I was different. So that when I first went to the Middle East, I wanted to, you know, dance like them, right? And I wanted to please them and say, oh, see, I can, you know, I can do what you guys do too, and I can hear the music the same way. And I learned very quickly that that's actually not why they wanted me to come. They actually wanted me there because what they had seen was different, or that I heard music different, or my body responded different. Oh, I had never thought of that. And then I was like, okay, that's it. I'm going to stop acting like a cookie cutter and be me, and whatever that meant, you know. And so that was like, and that still is a journey, because me is always changing and evolving.
Well,
so.
And that's such a good life lesson too for anything.
Oh,
because I feel like we constantly have that striving to be like, or dancing for, or doing whatever we do in life for our audience or for other people, our parents, our expectations.
That. Yes.
But ultimately what really is the most beautiful is when you see somebody doing what they do best in their element in the way they do it.
Right. And it being like honest.
Yeah.
Which is the whole Meisner thing.
Yeah.
But it's true. I mean, I think it's like you were saying, like as kids, you know, you want to please your parents, and so there's this constant thing. And because the belly dance is not really our culture, right? Or most of the women I teach, is not their culture. I grew up in it, so I have a whole different relationship. But I really noticed that a lot of people that don't come from the culture, they really want to imitate, because that is actually very responsible if you don't have a lot of knowledge.
Yeah. Well, they want to be accepted.
Yes, they want to be accepted. And so I kind of took more of the rebel approach, where I was extremely educated in the culture, in the field, in the music, and the history because of my mother. I totally took it for granted. I thought everybody knew this stuff, you know. Right. And then within that knowledge was how I could rebel. And how I could fuse. Like I could have only started to fuse because I was solid with the history and the, you know, the base. Because you can't like start with the fusion.
Right.
You
gotta
know.
come from somewhere.
Yeah.